You have heard the hype about tax lien investing, the promises of high returns like Illinois' 36% annual interest rate. But here's the truth. While you dream of double-digit returns, most investors walk away with just 2%. I'm Abi, and together with my wife, I bought and sold over 500 properties, including many at tax auctions. And in this video, I'll expose the dark secrets about tax lien investing that the gurus don't want you to know, and the 3 alternative strategies for finding off-market deals that helped me go from a broke immigrant to building a 7-figure real estate business. So let's dive into the 15 dark secrets that could cost you a lot of money. Number 1, tax lien investing might seem like a great way to grow your money quickly, especially if you have a large amount to invest. But here's the thing, the process isn't as simple as just writing a check and waiting for the returns. So let's say you're working with $100,000 and the average lien costs around $200. That means you'll need to purchase 500 liens to fully invest your capital. But here's where it gets even trickier. Each lien represents a property that needs to be researched, and it needs to be done upfront times 500. Number 2, some people see tax lien investing as a hack to score valuable real estate for pennies on the dollar. But the reality is different. At first, the properties seem incredible, great locations, charming homes, or land with endless potential. But just when you think you have found a winner, those opportunities disappear. Why? Because most owners of desirable properties find a way to pay their back taxes plus interest before you can foreclose. And often, what's left are the properties no one wanted, like unusable slivers of land or homes needing major repairs. Number 3, tax lien investing might seem like a straightforward process, but each place has its own unique bidding style. For example, in states like Illinois, it's not about how much you'll pay upfront, but how low you're willing to let the interest rate drop. In places like Arizona, you're bidding on how much you'll pay over the base lien amount. Sure, you might win the auction, but you'll pay a premium for that privilege. In Louisiana, instead of bidding on interest rates, you compete for a percentage of ownership in the property. And then there are counties in Wyoming where the process feels more like a lottery than an auction. Even if you're ready to bid aggressively, you might have to wait your turn in a round-robin system. And sometimes your turn never comes. Number 4, if the property owner doesn't redeem their tax lien, you might think it's smooth sailing to take ownership. But what happens next can often catch you off guard. In many cases, taking ownership means you'll need to initiate foreclosure, and foreclosure isn't just time consuming. Filing fees, legal costs, and admin expenses can quickly add up, sometimes reaching tens of thousands of dollars. And if that wasn't enough, the process can drag on for months or even years. Number 5, when you first start, it might seem like you can buy tax liens everywhere, but that's not true. Take Texas, for example. You're not buying tax liens, but redeemable tax deeds. Homeowners can reclaim their properties for up to 2 years after the deed has been transferred. And then there's California, where you'll be bidding on tax deed sales, meaning you're trying to purchase the property outright. Number 6, tax lien investing might seem like the perfect opportunity for smaller investors to find hidden gems. But has it become too competitive? What was once a lesser-known strategy is now on the radar of institutional investors, large firms with deep pockets and dedicated teams. They're experts at researching properties and developing strategies at a scale individual investors simply can't match. It's like hosting a yard sale while Amazon is running Prime Day. We're not even in the same league. Number 7. Tax lien investing might seem like a fast way to grow your money, but what happens when things take longer than expected? In some states, redemption periods can stretch for years. Take Wyoming, for example. Its redemption period can last up to 4 years, and that's just the baseline. If the property owner is active military or has a mental disability, laws may extend that period even further. And if the property is in a judicial foreclosure state like Florida, Florida, court backlogs can create additional delays, keeping your capital tied up for years. Number 8. Think you can just participate in every auction from the comfort of your home? Think again. Sure, in Florida, you can bid online from anywhere, but in some states like New York, you'll need to show up in person to place your bids. So if you live in a state that doesn't offer online auctions, get ready to spend time and money traveling or miss out entirely. Number 9. Let's say you have found a promising property in an online auction. It feels as easy as adding it to your cart and hitting checkout. But is it really that simple? Think about this. What if the property sits in an active floodway, making it unbuildable? Or what if the house is a disaster inside with extensive damage you can't inspect beforehand? Worse, what if the land has environmental contamination that turns your investment into a liability? Tax lien investing might seem like an easy path to a great deal, but once you start preparing, you'll find there's a lot more beneath the surface. Is the property accessible by road? What are the zoning restrictions? These critical factors can turn a deal into a costly regret. Number 10. Imagine thinking you have secured a property after foreclosing on your lien, a bargain you can finally call your own. But what if months later someone stepped in and took it back, leaving you empty-handed? It's not just a hypothetical scenario. In certain cases, a powerful player has the right to reclaim the property even after the deed has been transferred. When a property has an IRS tax lien, not only can it survive the foreclosure, but the IRS has up to 120 days to redeem the property by paying off the lien. It's like buying a lottery ticket, winning, and then being told, oops, wrong winner, give it back. Number 11. I recently bought a property at a tax auction in Putnam County, Florida for just $3,000. With a market value of $13,000, I was thrilled, thinking I'd scored an incredible deal. But just a week later, I got a letter in the mail. It was about a fine from 10 years ago for illegal RV parking on the property. What started as a $1,500 penalty had ballooned to $19,500 because of interest and fees. That's when I learned the hard way that court enforcement liens tied to a property don't get wiped out in a tax sale. Number 12. When you take ownership of a tax sale property, the deed you receive is often a treasurer's deed or a quitclaim deed. While it might seem like you now fully own the property, these type of deeds don't guarantee a clear title. What does that mean? Without a clear title, selling or refinancing the property can be nearly impossible. To resolve this, you'll need to either go through a quiet title action, which is a legal process to establish ownership, or work with a title certification service like Tax Title Services. Both options can cost thousands of dollars depending on the property's market value. Number 13. Clearing the title isn't just about money. A quiet title action often faces delays due to court backlogs and the need to notify all interested parties such as previous owners or heirs. This process can take months or even years. Then there's title certification services, which are often faster and cheaper, but there's a catch. Not all title companies accept certified titles. I personally had deals fall through because buyers couldn't secure financing due to this limitation. Number 14. In some states known as super lien states, certain obligations stay with the property and even take priority over other claims. For example, in states like Florida, Nevada, and New Jersey, HOA liens can survive the auction, potentially leaving you responsible for thousands in unexpected fees. Number 15. Many gurus promote Illinois as a gold mine for tax lien investors, emphasizing its impressive interest rate of up to 36% per year. But here's what they don't tell you. Most auctions in Illinois use a bid down system where investors compete by offering to accept lower and lower interest rates. Take DuPage County as an example. Bidding often starts at 18%, which sounds like a fantastic deal, but as competition heats up, those rates get pushed much lower. In the November 2024 tax sale, the average winning bid was just 2% per 6-month period. So with more bidders and fewer good deals in tax lien investing, how do you keep your profits growing? Here are 3 alternative strategies I found for finding off-market deals that helped me build a 7-figure business in just 6 years. Number 1. Unlike tax lien auctions, where you're essentially betting on the property owner's ability to repay their debt, tax deed auctions let you bid to own the property outright. Here's why that's a game changer. Instead of waiting through redemption periods or dealing with foreclosure costs, you gain immediate ownership of the property. This gives you the flexibility to sell, rent, or develop the property as soon as the deed is transferred. Of course, you'll still need to do proper due diligence, but here's the best part. Tax deed auctions often result in much higher profits. In my experience, I've been able to consistently double my money by focusing on these opportunities. Number 2. Most people think the only way to find a great deal is by participating in the tax sale auctions. But there's a way to get ahead of the competition before the auction even happens. Here's the strategy. Instead of waiting for properties to hit the tax sale, I reach out directly to tax delinquent property owners. These people are usually open to selling their property to avoid further financial trouble. By sending personalized letters, I can start the conversation early. This approach lets me negotiate directly with them, often securing the property at a fraction of the cost. Best of all, I bypass the fierce competition of tax auctions entirely, and it lets me scale my investments by targeting multiple owners at once. Number 3. There's a way to connect with motivated sellers before their properties even reach the tax delinquent list. Here's the strategy. I use platforms like Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and SEO to generate leads directly from property owners who are eager to sell. This allows me to target sellers who are already searching for solutions to their financial problems. But here's the best part. These channels also let me tailor my approach. I can focus on specific locations and property types, making it easier to find the kind of deals that align with my investment goals. And it lets me buy properties 50 to 70% below market. But here's the thing. Not knowing this next hack is like showing up to a sword fight with a pool noodle. You're just not playing to win. So watch this video next, where I reveal how to buy government seized properties for up to 50% off.